Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now we're whole name's here. Right?
No, there's something here.
Something here. I don't know the whole song.
The whole team's here.
But hey, guys, episode 50. Holy shit.
Yeah,
of Chubby Cat Podcast, by the way.
By
By the way, real quick, why I crack a cold one open with me boys. Oh, congrats.
Dope.
Congrats. Let's cheers it.
Well,
We
yep.
did it.
Sterling is very
stay away.
cleaned up,
I'm gonna
so
stay away
he's
from
drinking just some non-alcoholic punch.
Yep, I've got punch.
Yep.
To go with my
We appreciate him coming, even though he's dying from the gray death.
He is getting savaged by illness, but he could miss our 50th.
Yeah.
Nope, could not.
We still want to do a parents episode, but you know, we couldn't pull it together quite last minute. So
Sterling's mom now has what he has.
yeah,
Yep.
Thomas's mom is dealing with a crap ton of logistics stuff from some family issues.
yeah, some family
And
stuff.
my mom is not in the house at all.
Yeah,
So,
so no parents this one, but we'll still have a great 50th episode. Maybe for our 52nd episode.
There you go.
We'll have it
yeah,
for a
pretty
year.
cool.
Yeah. So speaking of that, real quick, it's always a weird thing, like, because this happens in podcasts all the time. Like, people, it's like, oh, 50, it's a good number. Like, you're halfway to 100, but you're too short from just celebrating like a full year of podcasting. Like, so it's almost like I feel like we're blowing our load like 2 seconds early. By the way, this is Tom.
At least it's only 2 seconds.
Yeah. Your host with the most, who likes to boast, joined by my brothers Sterling and Jay, as always, the OG
What's up, dude?
chubby crew.
What up?
But yeah, so I always feel weird, like, yeah, we're blowing it a little early, but like, I don't know.
Sort of is
It's a
what it
little
is.
early.
Yeah.
You know?
Just at least it's only a little early.
Also, shout
my
out to Allie
birthday.
Brown for the delicious bevs.
Yeah, very delicious.
I helped her out with a bed like earlier this weekend.
Yeah.
Just like storing it for like a month or two while she figures stuff out. And she got me some, I guess also shout out to Thorn Brewery
Yeah.
for making the bev.
Yeah, that's, like,
but
cool,
I never heard
like-
of them, so good taste.
I like their logo too. It's like a raccoon on one of those like old school bicycles with like the big wheels in the front.
Nice.
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a delicious
Aren't those
lager.
called a penny something?
I have no idea. I just call them the big bikes.
Pinwheel?
The big one. I
thought it was a penny. Was it a Pennywise?
How do guys get on that?
don't think it's a Pennywise. It could be. I don't know.
Yeah, I
You-
don't,
you probably
sorry.
have something there. I'm not sure.
Random observation.
No, you're
Maybe
good.
it's because it's out too, and I'm just thinking about the clown.
Dude, fuck that movie.
I want to see it.
Dude,
so
okay.
bad.
So
Okay.
I made a joke to Thomas. I was like, "Want to go see it when it launched on like Thursday night?" And he's like,
Yes.
"Okay." Like he actually said okay, which first of all surprised me.
Yeah.
Because he hates clowns.
I do hate cons.
But he was
Sterling.
like, "I'm willing to give it a chance."
Yeah. Also, because now doing a podcast for almost a year, I think to myself mostly, I'm like,
That's gonna be a good story.
What makes a good fucking story?
Yeah.
And going to go see it would make a good story. So yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Like that's something that we can bring to the table.
Yeah.
Oh god, that would be a great episode.
Right. So we started like. Tom started like just like looking online.
Yeah.
And he found a thing like last night which like recreated the scene. I think it was like a Japanese like game show.
It was
or something.
a Spanish or
Spanish game show. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was a different language.
Yeah, they're
I
speaking
don't-
Spanish. Yeah.
I wasn't watching. I just caught that like they weren't speaking English. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Shit. And like they like this little kid in the like yellow rain slicker was like, oh, like my
toy boat fell down the drain.
And like obviously the person was not familiar with it because they
Yeah.
were like,
Oh,
okay,
all right.
like I'm gonna go help you. And then guy dressed like Pennywise like slams the manhole cover open and jumps out and starts chasing and screaming after them. And like Tom's like, fuck that.
Fuck that. Well, it was that, and it was also a mixture of another guy I follow on Twitter was like, I went to go see it tonight, first one to the screen, and this fucker was sitting here, and it was a guy in full Pennywise makeup with a red balloon just sitting in the middle of the theater by himself.
Oh yes.
Like I could flat out tell you right now, if we had gone to see it and a clown was actually in the theater, I'd be like, I'm getting my money back. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sit in a movie theater with a fucking clown.
Dude, and like that opening weekend, there's like 100% chance there's gonna be a guy in clown makeup.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
Like
Of course. And okay, because I played out the scenario in my head. I was like, I somehow was like, all right, guys, let's go see it.
Great.
And we're like, cool. And I got there before you guys. For some reason, we didn't go together.
Right,
That's
naturally.
Yeah.
that's how these things work.
I showed up early, and the guy's
Of
sitting there,
course.
and I'm like, all right, where do I sit? If I was the first one in there and he was just in there, I'm like, I'm not going to sit with him to my back because fuck that. I don't know what that clown's going to do. So I'm going to sit a couple rows behind him. I'm going to sit middle, a couple rows behind him. So if he turns around, like, decides to come at me, I have, like, 2 avenues of escape and time to, like, get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it all out, and I was like, but what if the clown like comes out? What if more clowns showed up while I was waiting? When I was surrounded by clowns.
Sat back there, and like a clown just sat on each end of like your row.
Yeah, and then
like,
and simultaneously like looked in at me as I was sitting there. Yeah, I thought about that. I also thought about, if I sit in the back row and like it's kind of darker in the back rows. What if all of a sudden a clown just like kind of came and like leaned forward and was like, "You excited for the movie?" I would fucking die.
I think Thomas would literally shit himself.
I would shit myself.
This is one of those moments that like you'd be like, Tom, you don't have a concealed carry permit. He was like, I do today.
I do today.
I do today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just.
No, I was ready.
Make me feel comfortable.
I had that. Yeah. I was like, but yeah, the clown made a move at me. Fucking dead clown. I don't care.
Dead clown. I ain't fucking around today.
I'm not fucking around.
That's
Fuck
awesome.
you, clown.
So needless to say, we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
No.
I really want
I also
to.
thought-
I've heard really good things.
I also thought Thor came out this weekend. I was like,
Oh yeah.
fucking let's go see Thor. And everyone's like,
Yeah, he asked my wife. He's like, "You interested in Thor?" She's like, "I mean, yeah, like, she's a big fan of the Marvel movies," and she's like, "I'm kind of busy though. Like, I mean, you guys can see without me. It's not like a huge deal." And I was like, "Oh, we'll wait. It's not.
It's like,
we're
we're like,
whatever.
do your homework now.
Do your homework. Yeah, maybe we
Yeah.
can go see it." And then like, she texted me later that night and was like, "Thor's not coming out until like November." We're like, oh,
Yeah, she texted us like in the morning. She's like, fucking Thor doesn't come out until like November. I was like, oh, okay.
Like, he's like, "What was I?"
I don't know.
I don't know.
Apparently, I was just ready for fucking Thor.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm pretty sure Thor's here." Oh, my parents are home.
Oh, welcome home, parents. We're about to hear some doggos, probably.
Yeah, we're gonna get the barks, the borks.
Borks.
The Borks.
So can we just talk about the one thing that we're probably going to talk about for the rest of the podcast?
Yes.
Yes.
Fucking Destiny 2.
Yes.
Right
Oh
now.
my god.
Can we just talk
Cannot
about
get enough.
Came out last Wednesday. And I would say we're hitting it hard. I think I've been up to at least until 1:32 a.m. every night since it's come out.
It has been very hard to decouple from this game.
Yeah. It's
I don't see myself doing so anytime soon either.
No.
I'm in.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
in it.
not to mention this is like the first game I've seen Sterling like play at home by himself. Like
Get down. He dabbled with ESO.
A little bit.
But like this is the first one he was like, I'm gonna set my Xbox.
This is the first one where he was
I'm gonna
like-
start playing by myself.
He'd be like, "Hey, on." And we're like, "Oh, we're out to dinner." He's like, "All right, I'll just solo."
I'll just solo for a bit. I'll see you guys when you get back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck's happening? That's how you know the game's good when
Right?
Sterling wants to play it by
Yeah.
himself.
When Sterling is like, I'm in so deep.
Yeah. Oh my god, you guys, it's so good. Immediately story was amazing. I don't want to do any spoilers because it's only been out for a
we'll
week.
Keep a spoiler free.
But story is amazing, you guys. Definitely has a lot more than.
That was obviously a concern coming out of Destiny 1, which
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have a story.
No story. Just
But yeah, like 2 minutes in, you're already like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It still plays like I feel like Destiny 1, kind of like same like mapping
Very
and
similar.
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, like the mechanics, which were good,
Yeah.
are still there.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
improved
it-
upon.
Yeah.
It felt like coming back to an old friend, but with like just updates. The graphics got a huge update.
Oh
Because
my God,
Obviously, it didn't have to be designed to be synonymous with PS3 and 360.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was
And,
straight new gen graphics.
All the zones are super fun. All the new zones and everything. I've been enjoying a lot.
I thoroughly enjoy the European Dead Zone. Everything's spread out, but I don't know. There's just something very viscerally pleasant about going around
Fast travel?
in the forest. Oh,
Fucking
yes.
fast travel is the shit.
Fast travel.
Because
is
that would be
great.
one thing like.
The travel system in general is nice, and
Yeah.
you can open up and jump between planets, or whatever. It's just one of those. I guess the best way to describe the game so far has been a lot of small quality of life changes that added up to a lot of like frustrating things about Destiny. And Destiny 1 was one of my favorite games,
Yeah, thoroughly.
probably for this last generation. We put hundreds of hours into that
yeah.
game.
Never beat a raid though.
Never beat a raid because we suck.
Never.
But we played the shit out of it. And like looking at this game, plays very similar, handles very similar, but they took a lot of the things that were irritating and made slight changes that made the game feel so much better.
Yeah, so good.
Even like the like the zones and everything. I mean, they had patrols in Destiny 1, which they still have in Destiny 2. But if you weren't doing a mission, the like zone hubs felt pretty much empty. Barring like the later ones, like looking at, I guess the Dreadnought for me is probably the best example because there was shit ton of like things to find and chests to do and keys and things like that you would
And
get.
it was relatively
Like-
small where like you could actually
And it was-
run around.
Yeah, it was
and
tight enough
get
that you got to kind of
through
do
stuff.
everything there. But that was the first time it really felt like there was more to do than like knock out a few patrols and then leave.
Yeah.
And this, it's so different. You'll find side quests and like these little tiny, like they're called lost sectors, but these little side like dungeons you can do. And there's regional chests, which are like the golden chests, but there's
a
just
lot of
more
them.
of them, and they're kind of hidden in unique spots. But they like it just there's so and like public events, you have like a timer schedule,
Yeah.
God,
to show like when they're going,
And there's like four
there's like
in
a
each
banner
section.
to help
Yeah.
queue up and just gather people's attention, so you can see them on the map as well, like at all times. So it's just a lot of little things like
They
that.
also throw gear at you.
They do, yeah,
Like
absolutely.
getting like used to now, which I like, instead of like, I don't know, they'll probably introduce it later in the game. But you basically have factions with each planet that you visit, and you kind of get these coins for completing like the lost sectors and finding these chests and just killing guys, like named guys. And you turn these coins and like your materials that you would find, instead of like using those to like upgrades, you turn those in for like rep, and then you get like engrams that decrypt for like loot and stuff.
Yeah, but ultimately what it does is it helps incentivize you to do the side quests, which are
Yeah.
already fun. Like you're already like this is one of those games where I was talking to our friend Matt about this, but a lot of RPGs, especially on the bigger scale, like Dragon Age Inquisition was an example, or even like World of Warcraft or those kind of games. It's very easy to start feeling burned out by the amount of side quests and stuff that you're doing.
Oh, God.
Because you just you're like, oh, another one.
Another bounty, another.
Okay,
like,
cool. Like, is it on the way? Okay, I'll get that after I get this one. Whatever. But this is a game where, like, I want to go out and do these separate things.
Yeah,
Like-
I've spent
like,
hours.
I'm excited to go. Like, be like, oh yeah, but just do this real quick. Let me
Yeah.
hammer this out, because it all feels pretty condensed. Like, no mission really takes more than like 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And so you go off and I'm getting a public event comes in 2 minutes. Okay, that's fine. Let me hang out here for 2 minutes. We'll knock that out in like 5 or 6
yeah,
minutes.
because even when you're waiting for that,
know?
you're like, oh, there's a named guy over there to kill.
Yeah, so,
oh,
okay,
there's
well,
a lost
what
sector.
what can I do here for 2 minutes? Okay, let me do this lost sector real quick, then I'll come back. Or like, oh, there's a chest over there. Let me go grab that. Oh shit. Okay, there's a named guy.
Oh, we didn't even talk
cool,
about
whatever. Like,
my favorite thing they've done with the public events, like not even just having them like
Oh, yeah.
be multiple, like there's multiple public events, and like they respawn. I wouldn't say like the longest wait I've ever had is like 6 minutes, like
Yeah.
from another one being there.
yeah, for sure.
But you can activate them to be heroic.
Yeah.
So like there's certain secret things that you can do during each public event that triggers like either additional boss or like a harder boss that gives you more loot and stuff. And if you don't know how to do those, look them up, because it's really annoying when you try to do it and some level 7 shows up and just kind of starts killing everything. You're like, but if you shoot this, then we'll get a better thing. Stop.
This is true.
That level 7 guy really, really irksome.
He was last night.
Yeah.
I was like, don't do it. And he's
It is nice though that you have an option, because at first it seemed like it was random, like what would trigger it or not
oh,
trigger.
like the
it.
heroic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, like it got this one became a heroic event. That was cool. But I wasn't, because we started at day 1, so there were people I'm sure that accidentally tripped it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Or and was like, wait, I did this thing, like, and they tried it again, like, oh, okay, cool, and then they start doing them on her, like, and then other people would learn watching them do it, and then it try to spread,
Yep.
Yeah.
But
It's like herpes
Is-
at a frat party.
yeah,
It gets
Right.
around.
but it was nice because
Oh, yeah.
I was doing one today, like one of the missions where like a fallen walker comes down, and there's an ability like you can trigger the heroic to make a second walker come down, but I was doing it by myself,
Yeah.
so I was like, you know what, like I'm probably just gonna knock this one out. Just I don't think I can finish it like on the time wise if I go the heroic one. So I didn't bother like doing it, but it was nice to have that option because like Sterling and I were went together and I was like, let's do it. We only have 2 of us, but like let's try this, and we were able to knock it out. But
Champion.
yeah, it was cool to to be able to have that kind of like extra level of strategy. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of griping about the shader system, like on the forums and stuff. First of all, I've had several people be like, look, if the worst complaint you have about this game is about shaders,
That's pretty good.
It's a good.
it's a pretty solid like masterpiece game right
Mhm.
there, right? Like your customization options for your armor isn't the way you wanted it from the last game, but it's still there. It's just different. They're like, you fucked up shaders, like Bungie. I'm done with you forever. It's like, really, dude?
Go ahead, cry hard. This is the thing you're gonna rage quit about? All right.
In Destiny 1, for those of you who haven't played, like, you had these things called shaders, which just change the color and, like, sometimes like the texture of your armor a little bit. That might make it more metallic, or like, you know, add whatever
military camo prints,
little things to it. But it would just basically change the look of your armor.
Yeah, but once you unlocked it, you had it.
It was an item that you just went into like a storage thing for all your shaders, and you could just rotate through. You only have one on a time, but you could rotate through and do whatever. And now the shaders are like individual items that stack, and you can apply them to things and mix and match.
Yeah.
But people, I think, want, like, they're really cool, like legendary shaders, to get it and then have it forever, which I agree, they're kind of nice, but like it also just gives you more incentive to keep playing. Be like, oh, like, and it also gets me to do like different shaders. Like I had one that I really liked on, but I got a new set of armor and I was out of that shader, and I was like, well, I could just have this not match, or I could try like a different look. Like I'm like, oh, I have like 13 of these, like let me go ahead and put this on. Like I'll do this different coloration for a while, and why not? You know, like easy come, easy go, because I wanted it all to look uniform. But I actually have my head like different shader, so I'm like on my like helmet. I was like, let's try this. I don't know, it's just fun.
Yeah, it's definitely funny.
It's a new mechanic, you know, and of course people are going to gripe about that, but I don't know, I enjoy it, and you know, I'm all about the customization. I mean, you see me. If I'm gonna make myself look like one particular shader, I'm gonna all my gear and Sparrow and ship and gun. I go hard.
Everything he does.
So yeah,
he likes the uniform.
Oh God, do I ever? It's so
and I do too. I typically gravitate towards that. It's just funny.
The fuck is this picture?
We did the Nightfall Strike last night.
Yeah, we did.
Which was very savage. Poor Sterling couldn't. He was like just shy of the light level, so we got our other friend Matt to jump on, and we did it with him while Sterling just soloed to like get his light level up, or his power level. I keep calling it light level. Yeah, his power level.
Because I mean, like, we've been playing for so long. Yeah, like I still go, "What's your light level?" I'm like,
all right, power.
Books.
It was very savage.
It is. They have a new like what's it called? Fuck, we were trying to think of the word earlier. Modifier. Thank you. Where it sets a timer on the mission, and then like you can kill enemies to get more time, but it's like 2 seconds.
It's called
7 seconds.
So typically Nightfall Strikes had a timer for 30 minutes, and if you finished within 30 minutes, you got like bonus stuff.
Yeah,
but you had as long as you needed to.
Yeah. This
one gave you 11 minutes to start out.
What?
And you're racing the clock the entire way, which is why I said, like, you're like, I'm like 229. I'm like, you're gonna need more.
Yeah.
Like, because we were sitting here, like, Tom's at like 242, Matt was at 257, and I was at like 270. Or no, Matt was at like 265, I think. He was up there higher. But I was like, fuck that, dude. Like, no. And there was another modifier on called Prism, I think it was, where every roughly 60 seconds, about 45 to 60 seconds, somewhere in there, the type of elemental damage that like is effective changes.
No.
So they'll be like, oh, so Void is now super effective, but then all other elemental damages are like half damage.
Holy hell.
And so Tom ran his Arc Strider, Matt had to beat Dawnblade, and I was a Sentinel, so that we could rotate our supers depending on what element was up. Then we also had to have our guns be the opposite elements, so my heavy was Arc and my secondary energy was Solar, so that we could just sit there and like rotate through every like 45 seconds, like Void's up, and it's like a little message that pops up in the corner of your screen, like, and so you're like watching your screen like like bouncing between like, is there a new element? What's the time at? It was so much.
That's stressful.
Yeah, we got to the boss
stressful.
The first time around, but we ran out of time. We got to the boss with like a minute left, and we just couldn't get caught up. So then the second time, we were much more strategic about like being staggered with what we had and having certain people that could like step up. And like Matt was like Master of Solar. He had a Solar Heavy, and his Solar was Super.
Oh, okay.
Tom had a Arc Heavy and Arc Super. I actually, because my thing was an exotic, I had an Arc Heavy, but my Void Super and like when we just would be like, oh shit, like if Void's up, okay, cool, like I'm gonna throw my grenade, I'm gonna use my super, I'm gonna like melee whatever I need to, you know, like get the damage done. So it was a very a lot. It was very spicy.
It was a lot. So it was just a lot of
We had to, like,
coordinating.
skip like half the
we had to
enemies.
like skip stuff and then like
Because they're like the heavier guys, like the regular guys give you 2 seconds.
Yeah, of course.
But the like elite guys or like champion level guys that have like multiple health bars, like yellow or orange, only give you 7 seconds. But they usually take longer than 7 seconds to kill. So you're losing time for every heavy guy that you try to like kill. So
so
you
it was
had
very
to be
like get the fuck out of the way, let's go.
Clear out the regular like little mobs as soon as you can. Like try to corral them and like blow up barrels strategically to kill like 3 or 4 at a time. Like try to use supers at least early on to kill a bunch of guys really quickly. Like it was a lot.
Clear the fodder to.
Yeah, you got to get there with at least 6 minutes.
So we got to the boss with 6 minutes. We finished with like a minute and 45.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was worth it. It was like satisfying, but it was like,
super
especially
satisfying,
since we did it on our second try. Like we're like, okay, we went in the first time. We're like, okay, we fucked up. We spent too much time trying to kill everything. We just got to go in and we fucking just.
Yeah, because we were like, okay, like at first we were thinking like, let's kill the bigger guys. They'll give us more time, but we're like, these really aren't worth the dividends they're paying off. So we just sat there for like probably like 10 minutes, like after we lost, and we're just like, kind of like looked up. I like looked up a like a tutorial of like the strike to be like, are there any like spots we can just skip over? You know, like. And it was basically one section in the middle that we like fought our way up this platform versus like getting on our sparrows and just flying past everything.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, like that'll save us about like 2 minutes. And then like we just gotta be way more disciplined about and then like revives when you die.
You can actually
nice
like
thing
revive.
Is, comparatively, when you died here, like you can be revived in 5 seconds. Versus the previous 30 seconds.
That's huge.
But if the whole team wipes, you don't like restart. At any point, you just have to wait the whole 30 seconds for each person to go back, which is a big deal. Every time
that's huge.
You waste half a minute of your time, when most of the time we had about 8 minutes on the clock. Like if the whole team wipes, like staggered, we lose like an entire minute of just sitting there, like waiting. So it was a lot of like, I'm dead. Be by me in 7 seconds so I can get back.
Get back up and fight
in 7
Instead of,
seconds
like,
versus 30 seconds.
Okay, I won't be joining for a Nightfall Strike for a while.
No, I mean,
Well,
like
that's
what I'm saying,
like
like
going to be a constant modifier.
if that modifier's gone next week, then we can fucking bust one out.
We have no problem bringing you in if it's not a time crunch, because the strike was not comparatively that much more difficult.
Yeah,
it was the time element that made it challenging.
Yeah, and like you just need the gear to be able to like lay down some fire. Oh shit. But yeah, it's just a good game. I don't know. I just enjoy it.
It's great.
Oh yeah.
Crucible's fun. But
Crucible's
just
fun.
wrecking last night on Crucible. Even Sterling was getting some kills with his handgun and fucking just laying it down.
He was. It really sucked though. First time we went in, it was the 4 of us and our friend, 3 of us and our friend Matt. And we like lost the first match because it was control, which like you have to like just like capture the points, I guess, not like capture the flag, but like it'd be like, oh, like go to zone A, B, and C, and then like hold it, and like don't let the enemy take over it. And like we just like we were moving as like one like solid tank unit at first, so every time we came across the enemy, we were wiping them off the map. But they split up and were taking like more points. And by the time we kind of adjusted our strategy to be like, okay, let's split into 2 teams and like try to just defend these points. They would just shift their whole team over and like hit 4 versus 2.
Yeah.
And so
they just had it down for some reason. I don't know why
they had a better strategy. So it was like, okay, that's fine. Next time, like, we're going to be ready for this. We joined the next game. We're like, oh, it's Supremacy, which is like you get kills and you have to capture, like, they drop like tokens when they die, basically. And like they're called like emblems when you die. And so you have to like capture that. So like, sick. We are actually really good at this mode.
Fuck yeah, we got this.
And then 10 seconds into the match, Matt got disconnected. So then it was 3v4.
Not good. Not good.
We got shit on for about 3 minutes, and then another guy joined in who was like level 7 and understood the game type but did not have the gear.
Everyone was like level 20,
and like she wasn't part of like our team chat, so we'd be like, okay, let's gang up here, and like, and she'd be like, oh, we're like, oh shit, okay,
yeah.
So it just didn't work out. We played like 2 more games with her, and it was like just wasn't the same. And then like Matt rejoined a different game because he was like, well, you guys are doing it, so I'm gonna play.
And then we got another control.
Staggered, so we got another control. But like Matt was like halfway through his game, so like we played like 2 games apart, rejoined, tried to play a game, and like the servers just took a shit.
Yeah,
and
we also got owned by this fucking guy that had, what was it, the Nimbus? Nimbus?
That was called like the Night
Stalker?
Nightshade.
Nightshade. That gun, dude, I don't know what it was.
Oh my god.
Just demolished us every time I came across. I was like, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, it was
I
a pulse
started calling
rifle
it the puddler because it just
that he
turned into a
just
puddle.
was savage with. He would just kind of like strafe about 3 steps back and forth, like in the middle of the street, just like oh, dead. It was very bad.
Not pretty.
No, it was not pretty on that.
I'm sure for him it was great.
Fuck yes. I fucking love my phone. I was like, because it was so taste. It's like tasty.
I like it.
Taste. I even misspelled tasty. I did the asterisk and went TASTY.
Thing of beauty.
Total cool.
Total cool. But it was not total cool.
It was not total cool.
Oh man.
Not a bad apple.
Had a game? It was not a bad apple.
He was totally a bad apple. But yeah, you guys. Another exciting news. Jason got a new job.
I did. It's like still with Geico, but different position.
Different position.
I'm going to be a auto damage adjuster. So we'll see how these next couple of weeks pan out. I may have like an episode or 2 that I missed, depending on, we might have to like front load a few and see. And obviously we have Homebrewed Heroes as well. So we have a lot of podcasts to kind of get set up on. Matt got the job as well. So,
So
who's also on our Homebrewed Heroes podcast.
Just
but
great, so happy for you guys. But at the same time, like,
yeah, it's gonna be really cool. But we have to go to Virginia Beach for about a month for training.
That's why they have NASCAR, right?
Probably. I don't watch NASCAR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Good reference.
Yeah.
Like obscure. But
It's really obscure.
for us,
But
at
I'm like,
least.
Virginia Beach, I think they have a track out there that's pretty popular.
Probably do. It's not my sport.
Yeah.
So that will start. We'll be gone from like the end of October until like late November.
You're not going to be there for the Halloween party?
Nope.
So we can't
I will miss the annual Halloween party.
Can't do a themed costume?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Costumes are out this year, and I guess there's like no drunk Jason. I really didn't get drunk on the 4th of July this year.
Yeah,
Me
you
either,
didn't.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys really didn't.
So
That was one of my questions on my psych eval. They're like, when was the last time you got like drunk? And I was like, probably my friend's like Halloween.
I know the date exactly.
I was like, probably my friend's Halloween party. And she's like, oh yeah? I was like, yeah. So it's like I only allow myself to get like I'll drink occasionally, but it's like maybe a drink or 2. But like at my friend's Halloween party, it's like I take off work that day and the next day because I know I'm deliberately gonna go to have like to rage.
Just to drink.
And she's like, oh okay. Then the best part though, next question: have you ever gone to work hungover, drunk, or intoxicated? And I was like, fun story. So it was after one of my friend's Halloween parties. I got called into work because the opening manager didn't show up, so I had to go in.
that was a good stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, you do know I'm still drunk right now, right?
I went in.
We need you here. Like, okay.
Yeah, went in my Halloween costume. So, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had the fairy wings.
I did have the fairy wings. So it was luckily I was able to take off the fairy wings, but I still had some like sparkly makeup on. But whatevs.
Yeah, it's a good day.
It was a good day.
That was awesome.
Good day.
Oh man, yeah, that's okay. Last Halloween, I came the closest I've ever been to throwing up from being drunk.
Yeah, do that
like,
last time. Okay.
And it wasn't even like it wasn't because I was like more drunk than usual. Like I was drunk, but like there's been Halloweens, I've staggered out of it.
Yeah.
Like I've almost crawled.
Yeah.
To like whoever was driving me home. Like oh god. Like,
gotta get out of here.
Gotta get out of here. But this one, like I was good. And then our friend Trish, also from Homebrewed Heroes, was like, "Do one more shot with me." I was like,
Famous last
no.
words. No.
I was like, "I'm good, Trish. Like I'm drunk. I'm in a really like happy place right now. I don't want to harsh this." And she's like, "I already brought you this shot." And I was like, and it was like a double shot. It was a full ass shot of,
Oh.
God. It was
Jaeger?
It was either Jaeger or maybe like just like Captain Morgan, like spiced rum.
I think it might have been Captain Morgan.
I think it was Captain Morgan.
If you ran into Andrew, he was the one who was pouring Jaeger.
Yeah,
on it.
he was.
Yeah, it was. I'd had some Jaeger that night, and I
Yeah.
fucking hate Jaeger.
Yeah,
it's the
tastes
nastiest
weird.
shit.
Yeah,
But
dude.
that Captain Morgan
Goal-
spice rum was just like,
The goal-
like, I had this moment where I just like she was like, "How are you?" And I like put my hand up and like shook my head, and I was just like, "I need a minute," and like I just sat there like
Evaluating your life
Sterling
choices.
came over and was like, "How you doing, bud?" I just shook my head. I was like, "Go away." Like I didn't talk to anyone for like 5 minutes, and then I just stood up and like, "I'm good now." But
You just had to zen
I
yourself.
had to fucking zen. I had to power down,
Yep.
turn off all auxiliary systems, like run like the backup generator only until like my body could cycle through its boot up program again. Because
Yeah.
Full reset.
My
my
goal,
stomach was churning.
my goal always at these Halloween parties. So we all drink responsibly, I would say. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if we know we're gonna get like drunk, we'll be like, oh, we have a designated driver, or we're just crashing here.
Yeah, my wife and I usually swap Halloweens. Like, so we're like, okay, like, or like parties or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you can get whenever, you can get sloshed or buzzed or whatever you want here, and I'll drive. Like, I'll just drink tea,
Yeah.
or soda or whatever.
But the goal is always to get drunk as possible, but not as drunk where like you can't remember everyone else who didn't get like didn't control themselves.
Yeah.
Because that last Halloween, there were some fucking stories, dude. Like
There were some
some
stories.
so
stories.
fucking awesome, and I was like, I'm so happy right now that like I'm drunk enough to be like super like awesome about this, and then like also like I'm like, I remember this tomorrow. Not like I'm not gonna wake up and be like, oh man, it was fun last night. But no, to wake up and be like, no, I remember in grave detail why it was so fun last night.
Yeah, dude. Like, okay, so it wasn't like a block party. It was literally just a Morris party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sterling's like neighbors walk up, like 20 of them.
Yeah, it was like
With-
another party down the
Like
street
another
came up.
party, and they're like, "Can we join your party?" And so I was like, "What? Like,
What?
like, your party suck? Like, what's going on? Like, your party sounds fun." He's like, "It is." So we were kind of
Because
like,
we know each other.
we were kind of like, "Okay." I reserved the option to kick you guys out, and like his dad was out there too to be like, he's like, "Just keep it cool, you guys. Like, seems like no one really cares, but don't abuse it, you know?"
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
all right. And so they kind of like just hung out in the driveway for like an hour
Yeah.
with like a 4-year-old kid.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
The
wasn't
baby.
drinking, but like I was like, what? It's like 1 a.m. Why is this kid fucking up right now? Like,
baby drinking.
yeah, like I was like, you just stood there, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but all the adults came over and started like grabbing like beers and like
Shots.
hanging out, shots. Got some goulash. I was
Probably
like,
just ran out of beer and
Yeah.
booze at their party.
I was like,
And that is never something that happens at the
my
Morris
God,
party.
No.
for
We had-
days afterwards.
We had
Oh, yeah.
beer
For
there at that party
days.
from the last Halloween.
We did.
It's normally in a trash can, and normally I avoid that trash can because I'm like, that's the bad beer. I don't want to
So
get that beer.
that's the beer that is getting out aging.
It's got a fine patina on it.
Yeah, beer's not like wine. It doesn't
No,
doesn't
it
really doesn't get really better with age.
No. Yeah, dude. Yeah, for literally weeks afterwards, I go over like I don't go to like house like super often because it's kind of like out of the way and I hate the hill.
Yeah.
But like I'll go over there and like his mom would just be like, "You want some beer? You want some cider? Want some hard alcohol?" I was like,
Some liquor.
I'm like, no, I'm good.
No,
I'm
really?
just here for like an hour. And she's like, "We just have a lot left." I was like,
That's a
"Okay."
lot.
Every year. And we cycle too because it's like, all right, last year's beer goes to then I think usually the 4th of July party.
Yeah.
And then the carryover party from the 4th of July party goes to the Halloween party.
It's good times. What should we go as this year?
I don't know.
Should we do another theme costume or just do individual? I wanted to go as like our GTA 5 characters,
I thought that would be a lot of fun.
but I feel like no one would get it.
No one will get it.
No,
Like,
absolutely not.
No one. They'd be like, why the fuck do you look like an asshole?
I don't know. You're gonna rock the pencil mustache.
Oh yeah, I would go
yeah.
all
Okay,
out
go
for
hard.
sure. I would go Wildcat.
Tom is Wildcat.
I am Wildcat, the sweatiest of lords.
Yes. Oh god. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to think. What's coming up?
It is.
It is right around the corner.
It's basically here.
It's practically here.
Yeah. Do you want to do a word?
Yeah, I only have one left.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean 50th episode.
Yeah.
And then do you have a Sterling's Kitchen?
I do.
All right, we'll do a Sterling's Kitchen, and then I'll think of a Tom's Choice. We'll hit all the three big ones since, you know, it is episode 50.
It is episode 50.
Episode 50. What cool things can you do at 50? Can you eat off the senior menu? No, you're not old enough yet, right?
Wait, no, I'm sorry, I lied.
You might.
I'm out of words. We did this one last time. I didn't update I didn't save the scorecard. But I'm out.
I'm
Shit.
out.
I know.
Episode 50. Out of words.
Out of words.
I'm out.
I have.
I can try to
words.
look one up while we do.
Yeah,
the
you
other
can
stuff,
if you want.
but-
Yeah, Timmy said a word to me the other day. I was like, what is that? Oh, real quick, you guys. So I know I'm going to bring up Homebrewed Heroes, which is our D&D podcast that we do. And if you have been listening to that, then awesome. If not, you should go check it out. It's really cool. We're only like 9 episodes in, 10
9.
episodes in.
Maybe
It comes out every other Thursday on our podcast feed for Homebrewed Heroes. But yeah, next episode, you guys are going to come into some items, hopefully, that I've been coming up with and stuff. But I came up with one yesterday. Maybe you guys can help me work out like what it would do.
Okay.
Kane's glass jaw.
Kane's glass jaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I imagine it being like basically the bottom half of a jaw, but like it's made out of glass. And involved and it belonged to Kane.
Yeah. That was like very biblical.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like trying to think of that. I just like I thought of that. Like I was like, because yesterday I was filming volleyball at State, and one of the girls went down for a dig, and she like fucking just smashed her fucking chin into like the floor.
Yeah.
And she got up and she was just bleeding like down, you know. So she stepped off for a minute. They like patted it and put like a Band-Aid on. She like went back out and played. And I was like, man, at least like she doesn't have like a glass jaw. And I was like, oh, glass jaw, that'd be like kind of cool, like a glass sword, you know, like from like Fire Emblem. And I was like, oh, but like Kane's glass jaw. Because then I was thinking about Supernatural and like the Kane blade.
The Cane blade. Yeah. Good reference. Lots of good references, actually.
Yeah. This is what I think about when I watch volleyball for fucking 7 hours.
Wow. I guess you would. Yeah, there's only so much.
So much volleyball.
Yeah.
There's only so much butt I can look at. I know that was sexist. I'm sorry.
I don't know if it's sexist. It's just, it's.
I've never seen a non-attractive volleyball player.
Valid.
Men or women.
Yeah, no,
So,
it's true.
Very true.
Well, I'm thinking the teeth, you can break them out. And for some reason, I don't know why I went kind of Percy Jackson. And you throw them into the ground, and a glass steel soldier pops up.
Could be kind of cool.
Yeah. So again, as if it was a magical item, again, it could very well be like the Cane dagger from Supernatural, and it could be made from his jaw and a dagger.
Yeah.
That I don't know,
does something.
Sends you
Actually,
into, like
extra damage or
yeah.
something.
I'm thinking
normal.
like at least like maybe a +2 and kind of sends you into an unstoppable fury.
Yeah.
Because again that
causes you to have berserk.
yeah it could cause you to go berserk. There you go. That's
That'd be
a
kinda
cool
cool.
way to go to.
Yeah. Fucking just picturing like fucking Gavin or Marcus going berserk.
Yeah, the monk or the wizard going absolutely berserk.
Could get them killed though.
That's
because
very
they're
much
squishy.
so.
They're not.
They
They're
are-
not like Azilikovs.
They are not.
No.
Not. I'm a monk.
Doesn't sound great.
No, it does not.
Be entertaining till I died.
Yeah, until I died.
It'd be really cool until, I killed your character.
Till one thing
Right.
kills me.
So I don't have any more not that I'm mad anyways, but like any more like millennial or like Gen Z words. But I thought it'd also be kind of fun to start analyzing some like other slang from like other states, like even like different countries,
Okay.
and like try to break it down. So same thing.
Yeah,
just
same concept. Just
broadening it a little bit now
Yeah.
that I think we've delved deep into the well of pop culture, and we have to probably wait a little bit for that water to refill and
Yeah.
trickle back up.
yeah.
So
Rise to the top like proverbial disgusting cream.
yeah, okay. So
Anyway.
so the word would be, and pardon me because again this is actually one from Australia.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm using
Yeah,
it
correctly.
correctly in a sentence, but I know what it means. The word is chook. CHOOK.
Okay.
Chook.
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 And
This reminds me of like Beyond the Rabbit Proof Fence. Isn't that a book?
Beyond the Rabbit Proof Fence.
Or maybe it's just Rabbit Proof Fence.
Oh.
Like it's a
Never heard of
book.
this.
It's a book I had to read in college and then watched a movie.
Oh.
It takes place in Australia, and there's this giant fence in Australia that they put up to help keep out like rabbits.
Oh.
But it, like separates like it literally goes down the center of like Australia.
Oh. Australia is an interesting country.
It is, and it's like about this Aboriginal girl who's like raised up in like this orphanage for all Aboriginals, and she kind of like tries to escape to get back to her people.
Oh, wow.
And the guide she uses is the rabbit foot fence.
Nice.
They just use a lot of slang. That's why I brought it.
Oh, okay.
I was like, man, it's also a really cool story, but I didn't really tie it into why.
Thank you. I was getting a little confused.
You just said that word, and I was like trying to think it in the way that like I was like, oh, chook. That kind of sounds like how this girl would say like a word in this movie.
Can I get it in a sentence?
Yeah. I could totally go for some chook right now.
Dope. Okay.
All right.
Sick. Got it.
Okay.
I don't go for it, Sterling.
I'm thinking it's just a general for food. I'm thinking it's like, man, I could really go for some chook right now. So just like grind it, like when people used to say grindage back in like the early 90s.
Grindage.
Yeah, it's like
God damn, I forgot about grindage.
People used to do grindage was for food. Total skater-ish slang.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
terrible.
All right, so that's why I'm going with chook.
Okay.
I agree, but just to have something different, I'm gonna say like sex. Like, oh man, I go for some chook. Like, damn, I need some wet chook. Or damn, I need a hard
okay,
chook.
you're getting way too into chook, man. Stop trying to make chook happen. For a Mean Girls reference.
Fuck, man, did you get some chook last night?
Oh god.
Had the filthiest chook.
Oh god.
No, I think Sterling's probably closest, so I'll get you running the field. But chook is chicken.
What?
Okay.
So just chicken?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it implies like to like a live chicken or like cooked chicken. It's
Like I
just
could
chicken.
use some chicken.
Like, I could do some chicken. You know, like I could go for some chook or like look,
Chook and
there's
rice?
a chook. Like I don't know.
Oh.
Like
Yeah, what exactly?
contextually, but chook is chicken apparently in Australia,
chicken.
according to the internet.
All right.
All
That's a
right.
good one.
I don't know. It's like 50-50 with if Sterling's got it, because yes, chicken
close.
can be food,
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
but it's not like
I'd be willing to say I didn't get it.
Okay.
Because that's pretty specific.
because you hit the broad, but you didn't hit like
Right.
Yeah,
the
that was
narrow
super
border.
broad.
Yeah.
That was rocket
Yeah.
launcher broad.
Chook.
Bringing it back to Destiny.
CHOO.
Okay. My friend Marissa just got back from Australia. I feel like I want to. Like, is chook a thing? Like, what do you just
Right.
like? Do people just say, "Hey, let's go grab some chook. Let's go grab some
Do
chicken"?
you chook? Like that sounds
Do you
racist
chicken?
when you say that. Yeah, but like I'm
does.
saying chicken.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I can go for some chook.
Your chook is
I'll be
flappy.
honest right now.
Dude, chook's always good.
Your chook is so flappy.
opposed- Wow.
It's like what was the analogy I used the other day?
You said
I
a
want-
maester's sleeve.
A
Macer's
maester's sleeve.
Oh god. There goes.
I want to find secret scrolls.
It was
Oh.
very unpleasant.
It was very
Yeah.
unpleasant.
We're
Some
not happy.
people who don't know me out there, I like to take things, and I like to take them to their absolute limit, to the point where I'm like, even I kind of like, I don't know
I
about that
probably should
one.
have said that.
I should have taken it back like half a step. But I only do it with like select people because
Yeah.
they know me. If I did it with like the broad public, I'd probably get punched in the face a lot.
Yeah, there's a strong.
In the meantime,
possibility.
we were usually just sitting there, like three of us, like side by side playing video games. They'll just drop a line. We're like,
Huh.
that was disgusting.
It was
I wish
disgusting.
I didn't get a visual image,
Yeah.
a mental image when you said that.
Yeah.
But I did.
Referring to labia and
Gonna
them
hit him
being
hit him with that refuse.
flappy as wizard robes, and then wizard robes turn to maester sleeves from Game of Thrones because they have large sleeves. They hide things
And
in
then
their
I
pockets.
just didn't want to hear anymore because that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's all we needed.
You guys, we don't even have to do Sterling's kitchen. Sterling, you look so fucking out of it right now.
I am,
I literally
guys.
just looked up at Sterling. He went,
Yeah.
It's that moment where like his head moved, but his vision hadn't like.
caught up.
Oh
there.
yeah, my
Yeah.
eyes have not caught up with the.
It's like when Sterling was learning like DualShock controls, and he would fucking turn, but not turn like the other stick, and he's like,
God.
"Where are you?" Or like, actually,
Oh, I hate
I'd be
that so
excited.
much.
I want to get you back into Dead of Night.
Ugh.
Is that what it was?
Dying Light.
Dying Light. I want to see you play Dying Light now that you've played more video games, to see if your head moves as much as it did last time when you did a parkour.
That's a good question. That's a good point.
Because
Yeah,
the way your
Sterling's
head
whole
moved,
body would
when
move.
you played that game, like made me
Oh, yeah.
sick. Like,
I'm damn near over here doing the serpent. The controller moves.
We'd be
I
getting,
move. It's
like,
a thing.
his head would go back and like
Motion sickness
forward and
watching it.
like.
And he was in like a rocking chair, so like his chairs were rocking, his body's moving. It was like a full. It was like one of those like the SeaWorld rides.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
the 4D like,
but,
yeah, but on the
whole,
motion,
like motion sensor experience. That was Sterling.
Yeah, dude, I would just watch his head. I'm like, how is your head like not hurting right now? Your neck is like not supposed to bend that way.
My favorite part though was like, he was aware of it. He's like, you guys, like, I understand this is ridiculous, but like,
really do.
It's involuntary. So we'd watch him jump, and he would just like meerkat, like sit up and like he'd be like trying to like peek over something, so he'd like move his actual head, but like not his joystick.
Yeah.
I'm like, your view's not gonna change.
I wish I could explain it, but yeah, and sometimes it's still like that. Especially, I've been really sick and I'm playing Destiny, and so I definitely move like while my avatar is moving, I am moving.
Yeah. My favorite thing is hearing on the other side of the thing, your mom just going like, who are you talking to? And you're like, Jason and Thomas and Matt. Because I have this picture of like you just in a fever with no headset on, but just talking. And she's just like concerned about you. Like, who are you talking to right now? If you haven't caught on, Sterling is very, very sick. And me and Jason are probably going to die being in a locked room with him.
Almost 100%.
Like, I'm afraid to clean up his microphone that he's been talking into.
Also, poor Sterling last night was literally part of our group. And was like,
he was in our party chat.
And we're like, you're still here. Like,
and we're like, we're gonna go do the strike, but you can go do something different. And he's like, okay, cool. And then he just got quiet. And like, and then all of a sudden, like an hour later, he's like, I missed you guys. I was like, you don't have to leave the party chat. Like, you can come back. And he's like, how do I do that? I was like, I just sent you an invite. He's like, I didn't. And then like, then we started playing, and then he was like, you guys. And I was like, I sent you the invite. He's like, I did not receive. I was like, oh. And then I opened up the party chat, and he's still in the party chat. He just like, sometimes the headset stops working. I was like, you've been in the party chat the whole time, Sterling. And he's like, oh.
It was really bad.
I had no idea.
I was like, just unplugging and replugging your headset.
Yeah, I was like, you didn't leave. Like, I was like, I don't remember seeing a message you leaving.
That was really good.
Yeah, it's good times.
It was rough. I was in a bad way. I was on Titan, and I was just in a really dark area, and I was like, I just feel lonely right now.
And then I kept feeling really bad because then you kept saying stuff, but then Matt and Jason were like having this huge conversation, and you would say something, and I kept trying to be like, yeah, right, I hear you. Like, I wanted to be like, I hear you, Sterling. Don't get sad. Like, I know we're just having a conversation, but I hear you. just can imagine Sterling just sitting there, just like, oh.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Blowing a bubble.
Just like high.
Oh, that's the name of the episode.
High, sick.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I think that's going to do it for episode 50.
Sweet.
We did it.
Awesome.
We did it.
We did it. We're halfway to 100.
I have a great Sterling's Kitchen, too. That was something.
Fucking episode 52 or 51. When we actually celebrate a year. But yeah, it's weird. We did it. Like,
we're halfway there.
Yeah.
Living on a prayer.
Yeah, we are living on a prayer.
Yep. Definitely.
But anyway, guys, thank you. If you've been listening since episode 1, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Here's to another 50 with you guys, hopefully. Even if we get different jobs and move away, we can, figure it out and keep doing this, because I enjoy doing it with you guys, and I love you guys.
Oh, yeah, I love you too, man.
It's definitely been a fun adventure.
It has been.
It definitely has.
As he yawns into the microphone.
I know.
It's been a long week.
You fucking been Destiny, I understand. I woke up at 7 this morning like, what is life? I can't. But yeah, it's been a fun adventure to another 50. Check us out on social media. Like and review us, dude. How can we have fucking 50 episodes and no one's like reviewed our podcast yet? Like, are we just that good that no one cares? That's how I'm gonna look at it. We're that good.
That's how I choose to view it.
Like, everyone's like, this product speaks for itself.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. We're so good that no one wants to critique us, but we're not bad enough where no one wants to like ridicule our content. So we're just like right in the middle where no one wants to say a thing about us.
On the internet, of all things.
Yeah.
Everyone has an opinion.
We are literally putting ourselves on the internet, and no one wants to. Like, I've heard that people troll people on the internet all the time, and I'm like, we're 50 episodes deep into a podcast, and no one wants to fucking be like, you guys should kill yourself. You suck. Nothing.
Everyone keeps downloading, but no one comments.
Yeah. Like, that's what I don't get to. Or like last month, we had like our record low of downloads in a while, and I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, we only had like 50 downloads, and then like last episode, we almost had like 100 downloads. Like on our episode, what is?
We're back.
I don't get the.
We're back.
Like, I'm not changing up the SEO that differently. Like, what's going on? Homebrewed Heroes took a dip. Like,
really?
Yeah. We're not getting good at home. I was like, there's a lot of D&D out there now though, so
That's
like we got to like I mean, fucking Girls and Dragons, fucking, they have like a fucking huge production, and they're like the same as us. They just started when we started, but like they came out the gate with like oh, someone's paying for this high value, like fucking. They showed it back like a behind the scenes picture of their crew, and it's like a full production like they do.
Wow.
Yeah. So we just got to find our niche of like, we're not quite where we can hire like a team of camera people and directors and like have someone live switching our cameras.
Wow.
And we're not quite like 6 guys sitting around in the dark with like our iPhone.
Yeah.
We're like somewhere in the middle. We're like the middle nerd where people are like, I want to listen to you for the story. Oh, you guys, there's an Amber Alert.
Apparently.
Yep.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. I don't live
Really?
in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's not my phone.
It might be mine.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
It happens.
It's getting really, really out of it.
Episode 50.
Episode 50.
Fucking nailing it.
In the books.
You know, wouldn't be Chubby Cat if we did it, you know?
We didn't have at least one
One little fuck up.
wildly inappropriate, like, on air.
Yeah. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for supporting us. Please tell your friends and family. And until next week, rub-a-dub chub. Chub-de-chubs.
Chirp.
Chub.